Reports reaching Nightly News indicate that an Eastern Airline Flight number 231 from Georgetown to the John F. Kennedy Airport almost made an emergency landing prior to arriving at JFK last Tuesday at around 8:20 p.m. It was reported that mid-flight 2 engines shut down and were restored after 10 to 15 minutes, and the plane landed safely at JFK. The initial flight that was scheduled to transport the passengers was grounded in New York and was replaced with one whose engines failed. Several passengers were reportedly thrown into a state of shock following an announcement by the flight attendant that the aircraft will be forced to make an emergency landing as the pilot fought to keep the aircraft airborne. When contacted for a comment, Director General of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, Egbert Field, refuted claims of the 2 engines shutting down during the flight.
Our preliminary reports say that as the aircraft commenced its descent, there was a problem with the temperature of one engine. So that engine was shut down, which would normally be a precautionary shutdown. It was restarted sometime during the descent, and the aircraft landed safely.
Field further added that the Aviation Authority is further establishing contact with the Federal Aviation Administration to ascertain what exactly happened on the flight. However, a passenger of the flight who reached out to Nightly News is adamant that both engines failed, following which an announcement was made for passengers to brace themselves for an emergency landing.
About 15 minutes later, the pilot spoke and he said, "Attention passengers, we have an emergency on board. Both our engines had failed, but they had recovered. This is going to be a hard landing. I need everyone to tighten your seatbelts very tight."
The airline on its Facebook page on Thursday regarded claims of an emergency incident on board its aircraft as simply untrue. The airline maintained that the flight in question landed safely and without incident. The post read, "Flight crew members notified air traffic control that they were managing a technical issue on descent into John F. Kennedy Airport that lasted only a few minutes. The matter was resolved within minutes following a FAA-approved procedures." The airline did not add any further details about the technical issue. On November 14, 2019, Cabinet approved an application by Eastern Airline LLC to commence scheduled services between New York and Georgetown. Earlier in 2019, Dynamic Airlines, rebranded as Eastern Airline LLC, made an application to operate out of Guyana, and that application was rejected by the government of Guyana. In June of this year, an Eastern Airlines aircraft skidded off the runway at the Georgetown International Airport to Mary after landing with Guyanese who had been stranded in New York. 201 passengers and 10 crew members were on board the Boeing 767 aircraft. They subsequently disembarked the aircraft and were escorted to the terminal. No injury was reported. Eastern Airlines operated out of Guyana between 2014 and 2017, and after experiencing a series of problems, including bankruptcy, it left these shores in 2017. Despite Caribbean Airlines issuing a statement regarding the airline's effort to repatriate stranded Guyanese nationals after talks were held with the government of Guyana and the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, Eastern Airlines was selected to conduct all repatriation flights to Guyana. Temika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.